Hi everyone, this is Miss Alvarez-Muñoz with another video on the recorder. If you watched my last video, I talked about how to care for the recorder, how we make a sound on the recorder, a good sound on the recorder, and how to place our fingers on here. Now I start with something really important, and that's knowing the difference between our left hand and our right hand. The way I remembered left and right hand is your left hand makes a perfect L when you're holding it up. You should be able to see an L. That's the correct side, the correct way, and everything. Your right hand doesn't do that at all. So L for left. That thumb, your left thumb, goes in the back tone hole here. And we were learning in the last video how to properly place our fingers on the recorder. We don't lift them up so that some of the tone hole is exposed. We don't move them around, we just lay them as flat as possible. The fingerprint part of your fingers is what should be on your instrument. When we have these two fingers on here, we learn our first note, and we call it by a letter name. That letter name is B. When we play B, we remember that we play with slow, hot air, as if you're trying to fog up a window, or I gave you this trick, didn't I? I took off my glasses, I blew some air, sort of heated them up a little bit, made them a little steamy. That's the same kind of air you want when you're playing your instrument. So it sounds like this. Now, when we're playing the recorder, we don't just blow air. We don't just like we're blowing out candles, or we are trying to make something cooler, like maybe you're blowing over hot soup or something like that. Yes, that's the amount and the stream of air we want, but we actually want to add a consonant to it. And what I want you to add to your playing is the syllable to. Instead of blowing air like this, I want you to say to as you're playing it. And what I find is when we add just that consonant, just that to when we're playing, it punctuates it. It makes it just a bit more cleaner and crisper, especially when we're playing repeated notes. If I'm playing this same note, B, in a row, instead of blowing air in a row, it starts to sound really messy, unorganized. It ends up getting to be quite a bit of a headache because I'm using a lot more air than I should be. However, if I use to at the beginning of my playing, this is what it sounds like. Why don't you try it with me? If you have a recorder, you can get it right now. All right, so the left hand, my left hand is here. It's on top of the instrument. I don't go backwards. We try to keep it all the same, and left hand's on top, okay? My thumb is on the back tone hole. My first finger is also on that tone hole. And in no way is the tone hole exposed at all. There's no air able to go through it. Okay, I'm going to play the note B. I'm going to do 4 of them in a row. And let's practice. 2, 2, 2, 2. Let's try this together, okay? 1, 2, ready, play. Another time. 2, ready, play. Let's do 8 of them in a row. So 8 twos. 1, 2, ready, play. How'd you do? Thumbs up, you did great. Thumbs middle, maybe, okay. Thumbs down, give it another go. Let's give it another go. Same thing, let's do 8 times. Remember that we're saying 2, 2, 2. When I'm saying the word to, what's happening is I'm using a few parts of my mouth. I'm using my lips, I'm using my tongue, I'm using my teeth. The same way that when we're saying the word to, my tongue is sort of making a bit of friction with my teeth. It's sort of pushing kind of against it. It's making a sort of sizzly sort of sound, and we want that when we're playing the recorder. Let's try it. 8 times in a row. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, ready, play. There you go. So in this short, quick practice session, we remembered how we keep our fingers flat on the tone holes. We learned that the name of this note is B. Some instruments, if you have the same model that I'm using, there actually is a little B on there. Just as a reminder, we use 2 fingers for that note B. We are remembering that our left hand is the one that makes a little L. And we learned how to articulate the notes by using 2. When we articulate something clearly, it's easier to understand, it's a lot easier to say, it's a lot easier to play. It's as if you maybe said a word and pronounced it wrong, but then you're working harder to pronounce it correctly. Like a new friend's name, or maybe a word you've never heard before. Maybe that's on your spelling list or something. Okay, but I'll have another video for you guys soon. Practice those B's, practice with the 2s. Make sure your left hand's on the top, and I'll hear from you soon. Bye!